Smiths' final single of 1986 would be Ask, followed early in the new year by another new release called Shoplifters of the World Unite, a song which highlighted Morrissey's fascination with the more disreputable elements of society.
My only weakness is a list of crime.
Morrissey's always lyrically been interested in kind of the ruffian types. I think he's, I don't know, I mean, people say maybe he fancies people like that. You know, that's, so what, you know, and then, but he'll sing about, maybe sing about that because of that. Maybe that's it's a fantasy in his mind. Maybe he likes, maybe he isn't. Maybe he likes hanging around the rough boys. He went to rough school, you know, maybe singing about when he was at school. Maybe he's fascinated by that because it's something he never was, you know, because he was more, kind of more feminine guy.
There is Morrissey stamped all over the record. To me, it sounds like the first Morrissey solo record, and I don't mean it sounds like Suedehead. I mean, it sounds as if that were the beginning of Morrissey saying, right, now, if I'm a bit clever about this, I can make the Smiths more my band than Mark's. Classic power struggle thing. Not to say it's a badly written song, but I think possibly Morrissey was throwing his weight around, or Morrissey was just subconsciously getting people to allow there to be more moths in the record.
Despite the top 10 success of their next single, Sheila Take a Bow, all was not well within the band. In May of 1987, a disastrous final session with producer Grant Showbiz saw Johnny Marr announcing his intention to leave the Smiths.
It was weird for me because it was a dream come true. You know, I'd finally got them down to my recording studio. I had control over what it was going to sound like, and it was kind of horrible. And I was sort of sitting there thinking, what am I doing that's wrong?
I just thought, it's just a little tiff, you know. Within a few weeks, they all kind of sorted it out, and then they would have got back together again. And I really, you know, didn't believe it was a permanent split.
It was a silly little thing which, had there been a manager that had the faith of the entire band in him or her, would have been resolved very, very easily by everyone just taking a break.
By August of 1987, however, a press release had been issued, and Marr had reportedly confirmed everything with the New Musical Express. To all intents and purposes, the Smiths were no more.
Well, I think it was a shame how the whole thing stopped with them, because I think that they had quite a lot to offer, and I don't really think that they ever fully realised their potential. But then I guess that happens with a lot of bands, you know. But I always felt that we were on the edge of something really good, and we never quite nailed it.
About Smith splitting up, I can't remember being surprised about it. I wasn't shocked, or I think, as far as I knew, really, that maybe Morrissey and Johnny were maybe drifting apart, because I heard a couple of stories about things that had happened in the studio.
I don't think it was inevitable artistically. I think it was inevitable personally. I think Stephen's very difficult, and I think John put up with it for a very long time. I think the other two would have gone with it for as long as they needed to, but I think Johnny Marr didn't need to, and I would presume that Johnny Marr in the end, and you know, the word in Manchester was that not just Johnny, but Angie had just had fucking enough.
When Johnny first left, the idea was, as far as Morrissey was concerned, was to keep going. I think he thought he could keep going at least for a while until Johnny came to his senses, perhaps, and rejoined the band. We tried this session with a guy called Ivor Perry, who was a guitar player from a band called Easterhouse at the time. But it was a nightmare, it didn't really work at all. I certainly didn't get on very well with the guy. Mike and Andy didn't really kind of click with him. It was obvious it wasn't going to work.